Donald Trump is using a deadly illegal war to make money, and now he's threatening the lives of the reporters who dare call him out. Families of fallen soldiers are furious, but instead of answering them, Trump is lashing out and threatening the press. Let's break down exactly what's going on. Recently, 6 American service members lost their lives in an Air Force crash while supporting operations in Iran. And what was Donald Trump doing on the exact same day? He was out golfing in West Palm Beach. The family of 28-year-old tech surgeon Tyler Simons spoke out, saying his death was totally preventable and uncalled for. His grandmother bravely told the news that the families are suffering just because Trump wanted to create a war. The family even put out a statement urging people to take their grief to the ballot box and vote for the heroes who actually lost their lives. So how did Trump respond to the grieving families of the troops he sent to die? He didn't. He wouldn't even dignify their loss with an answer. Even worse, he's actively using the official White House photos of their dignified transfer to raise money for his campaign. When a female reporter confronted him about fundraising off of this tragedy while wearing his own campaign merch, Trump completely lost it.
One of the worst, most fake, most corrupt. You know what ABC News? I think it's maybe the most corrupt news organizations on the planet. I think they're terrible. I don't want any more from ABC.
Right here.
You're much better.
Thank you, sir.
Can you explain why we're sending 5,000 Marines and sailors? Can you explain
You're
why
a very obnoxious person. Go ahead, what were you going to say?
He refused to answer, called her obnoxious and insulted her network. And it gets even darker. On Truth Social, Trump literally threatened reporters, saying that journalists who share stories he doesn't like should be charged with treason. He's threatening the lives of reporters just for doing their jobs. But real patriots are refusing to stay quiet. Representative Aru Khanna went on Fox News and dropped the absolute truth bombs about this disaster.
Well, putting off for 15 years, that's what the JCPO would have done. And then you could have had tougher negotiation in terms of making sure they didn't have missiles. But there was no imminent threat. Now there's a threat to the United States. We've created a threat. There were no ICBMs that Iran could launch here. Everyone acknowledges they don't have ICBMs. Now we've put our troops at risk. 13 Americans are dead. And I hope we can end this war. I just want the president to declare victory, end the war. I don't want more Americans dying. I don't want $2 billion a day going into the Middle East. We were dragged into this war in a way that isn't helping the American people. People, you know what they talk about in my district around the country? How are my kids going to get jobs?
Khanna made it absolutely clear. There was no imminent threat to the US before this. And now Trump is risking lives and wasting billions of dollars every day in the Middle East for absolutely no reason. He demanded that the president declare victory and end the war so no more Americans have to die. This cycle is insane and this war is absolutely unjustified.